Greetings everyone, CCX here. Welcome back to the Legends of the Majora's Mask. It is now time for the wonderful Stone Tower Temple. Also, I've been playing the 3DS version of Majora's Mask for a bit to go ahead and learn a bit of other stuff that's kinda that I kinda missed in the original version, but can you really blame me? But anyways, in the last episode, we ended up completing Ikana Castle and have gotten our information on what the hell we're supposed to do. To find the stone tower is actually over here with this wonderful, magnificent tongue that we're supposed to go across. You're going to need your Zora, your Goron, and your Ocarina, and it's going to be a very hell of a time. Also, the music that's playing in Stone Tower is the music for the temple as well. So essentially, this can literally just be the temple itself, but it's actually really not. So, I was doing the Goron race, and I have to say it's a little bit bloody difficult to do in the 3DS version. Okay, anyways, it's a little bit difficult to do in the 3DS version, because for some reason, Epona doesn't go ahead and jump all the way to one of the, gates, so that's always helpful. You know, I mean, I end up saying that the frame rate for the game was slower. I mean, it still feels slower to me, but it's actually not. The frame rate for this one is 20 frames per second, and the 3DS version is 30 frames per second, so yeah. Except for the inventories. The inventory is 60 frames per second for some reason, and I don't really understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me. But during the Goron race, I end up... Oh, wait. Anyways, I learned something like completely new. Well, it's probably not new. You could probably do that in the original version. The reason why they actually let you use your arrows against the Goron brothers is because if you actually shoot their donkeys, it actually slows them down. I didn't know that. I mean, that's actually kind of cool, but it doesn't really help at all because, to be honest, that race is pathetically easy to beat. If, you know, Epona is not dicking with you and, you know, legitimately moves when she's supposed to. You know, sometimes we complain about the wonderful controls of swimming controls, but sometimes even Epona herself can go ahead and screw you up. Anyways, you have to go ahead and click certain switches, and you're going to be doing this a lot in the temple. I'm going to say this now. You're going to be using the Elegy of Emptiness a lot. And the thing is that it's one of the things I don't like about going up into this temple is because you have to do that. But hey, once you've actually made it, you relatively are good to go because there is an owl statue waiting for you. If you can hear the game's audio, which I'm probably going to actually increase the audio for a bit, you can probably end up hearing a bunch of, you could probably hear a bunch of Gibdos or Redeads moaning in the background. It's kind of weird, but you can't really run into them, and they're not really around. The only enemy that's in this section is, I think, Keese and the Beamos, which is the only time you run into Beamos, now that I think about it, because you do not, Fire Keese and Beamos. Those are the only enemies that you'll ever actually see in this place. I wonder why there are no Redeads here. Even though, to be honest, I'm kind of glad there are no Redeads here, because that would be really, really terrible. It would be more so terrible because then the enemy placement would have been really, really annoying. But whatever. Put on your Goron mask and play the song as per usual. I actually thought that this section was a little bit difficult to do, but it's actually relatively easy and simple. I thought it was harder, but no, it's not. Also, there is a change for the 3DS version, but I will be going into detail with that once we end up getting the weapon, the treasure inside Stone Tower Temple. Because there's no point in going into detail with it now because it doesn't really matter. And also we don't have the ability. Alright, cool. I love getting shot by Beamos. They're by far my favorite enemies. Said nobody ever. Speaking of which, I'm gonna kill you now because you are annoying. Go away. Thank you. Sheesh. I never understood that. And those Beamoses are probably like the only enemies that ever get like a dramatic shift in the Zelda series. it's kind of like saying, how can you make a BMOS realistic? Oh, you can just make it have a gigantic roboticized version of itself, and it has laser eyes, and that's really about it, compared to the fantasy version, which looks like some random eyeball turning thing with a mouth. Like, it doesn't have the mouth in Twilight Princess and onwards, because Skyward Sword, they're futuristic enemies. But the Stone Tower Temple is by far everyone's favorite temple because, well, it's one of the if you've noticed, every temple that we've been through has utilized all three of the masks. But Stone Tower utilizes all three of your masks all at once. You'll be using the Zora, the Goron, and the Deku mask all at your leisure. And that's kind of the reason why I like games that do that. I like games that legitimately let you use all of the items that you basically gotten at your disposal, so you can actually progress through the dungeon. And that's kind of something that I appreciate in a lot of video games these days, where, you know, they go ahead and have like a certain temple or a certain area where it ends up utilizing your abilities. And I like that. It's kind of one of those things that, you know, you appreciate, because it's like, okay, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting a little bit more wiser, I understand the place a little bit better, and badabushki. And now we are here. Now, for some cases, I would reset the time to day, but to be honest, I should be able to, keyword is I should, be able to finish this temple in one cycle. So, yeah. I'm actually going to take me a ferry, just in case. And I'm going to say this now. For the original version, you don't need a Chateau Romani. For the remake, you're going to need a Chateau Romani. Because... God, that's kind of one thing I don't want to talk about as of right now. I don't want to talk about it because we're not there yet. So I'm just going to leave my frustrations until we get to the boss. Until then, I'm just gonna shut up. But anyways, this is the entrance to the temple, and the temple is right over there with that wonderful gaping mouth open. That gaping mouth open. Huh, look, it's that symbol thing that we sort of keep seeing from a lot of people. Wait. I can't believe that we're actually almost done with this game. It's a bit sad, to be honest. I don't know what game I don't know whether the game I'm gonna LP though. Well, I'm kidding. I already know what game I'm gonna LP. Oh, that thing didn't even go all the way. What the hell? Also, don't bother using Deku Link because of obvious reasons. You think that you're using a statue to be able to press the switch, it'll be able to actually have enough weight. It does not. It really doesn't. But other than that, though, once we enter this temple, it's time to get the full detail of Stone Tower as a whole. By far the best temple ever, and also one of the longest. It is indeed one of the longest. As you can see over there, you can end up seeing a statue that's pointing upwards with the flame. Some of these details are actually changed in the 3DS version, such as one of the statues shows a Triforce being licked by those when you're on your way to Ikana, those statue pillars are licking the Triforce. They don't have them in the 3DS version. In fact, they got rid of the Triforce entirely in the 3DS version, which I don't understand. I mean, considering the fact that the Termina is supposed to go ahead and try to make a bit of a contrast to Hyrule, but they decided not to because they wanted to get rid of it because reasons. Anyways, Stone Tower is a bit of the, you notice that you see the boss symbol up top, and you're kind of wondering how in the world you're supposed to go ahead and get that. Well, you won't be getting that no time soon until we get the dungeon item in this place. Also, I end up mentioning in the last part when I end up saying that those soldiers remind me of Skulltulas. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. I think I was on crack. I meant to say Stalfos, not Skulltulas. I don't know what that... Yeah, you know what? If Skulltulas have the capabilities of striking me down with swords, then I shall now dub them as Skulltula Knights. Oh, we can't go through there because we do not have light. And yeah, this temple suffers from, you go from one area, the area gets filled back with a bunch of enemies. Gotta love that. I love that in my video games. Go away. Alright, so now in this area there are 4 switches. You only have 3 masks. Well, you only have 2 masks that can be able to actually hit a switch. And one of the switches is consistent with a larger switch. So you can actually go ahead and just legitimately just take both of these boxes instead. So you don't have to actually deal with the whole putting in 2 switches. Well, actually, no. You probably have enough. No, so you don't have, yeah, so you don't have to play the song like 3 different times. You can just play it just twice and that's it. It ends up saving time is all I can say. How much time? Not really much, but in terms of speed running, it saves a little bit of time if you're going through this entire dungeon. If you're doing like the speed run 100%, which to be honest, the speed running for 100% is usually just getting all the mask only, so yeah. And you're gonna get the last mask in this area regardless. As you can see here, this switch consists of a bigger switch, and you need to go and use the Goron for this one. You have to go through this room for quite a lot. At least to my knowledge, I don't think you actually do have to go through this room a lot. You probably just only have to go through it for like, I think like twice. Another, a third time when you end up going through the second half of this dungeon. But other than that, it's not really that bad. Anyways, once you've done that, you'll enter this room here, and what you're going to do is you're going to use your bombs and blow up this. Yeah, screw you. Why is there a Gao here? Aw, I took damage. That's not cool. That's not cool, bruh. Oh, I'm still wearing the mask. Oops. I do like Stone Tower's music. I did play it in the last episode because, you know, for obvious reasons, you guys are not going to be able to hear it because of my voice speaking over it. Yeah, it's weird, too, how most people probably end up saying, oh, why does the Let's Play always speak? Why can't they shut up so we can listen to the glorious music? And then most people end up forgetting what the hell a Let's Play even consists of. It's like, guys, you guys don't understand what the hell a Let's Play even mean? Nah, bruh. We don't really know what anything means. We just end up complaining about anything because we think it's hilarious. Oh, that makes no sense. Anyways, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and kill all these Armos, which are annoying in Twilight Princess. Seriously. Half of the enemies in Twilight Princess end up getting revamped. And I gotta say, I don't like their revamp. Some enemies are better than others. I'm just gonna say that now. Some enemies are better than others in Twilight Princess. Oh, wow. Okay. Domino effect. I love that. Killing all the Armos allows a key to be spawned, so you can remember to go and take that. And then we have to head back upstairs. If you follow this pathway, the pathway that I'm taking, and make sure that you don't get confused, you should be relatively fine with this temple. Keyword is you should. Now for this section, you have this BMOS here, but there is a treasure chest that you can get in here, but not yet. Also, this room is a little bit annoying because of the fact that, you know, the changes for the swimming mechanics, you can't be able to actually swim properly. Also, you're going to need this Dexy hand to grab you. Huh. Wait a minute. I don't think the Dexy hand does damage to you, does it? Let me see. I wanna see. I don't think he does damage to you. Yeah, it doesn't look like he does any damage to you. Maybe you can. Okay, so essentially you can do a no-hit run in Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Because I was watching a commentary. You guys probably already know the commentary that I probably was watching. But just in case you don't, essentially, I was watching a commentary channel that basically said that you have no choice but to get hit by this Dexy hand, but I don't think the Dexy hand can harm you at all. So, yeah. You're not supposed to do it that way. You're not supposed to hit that switch that way, but I do it that way because reasons, and also because, to be honest, there's no point. End up getting this, you'll be able to get yourself a key. There's a switch that is changed here in the 3DS version, and you're supposed to use the dolphin jump, because I think the Dexy hand is absent in the 3DS version. So yeah, that's always a fun thing. I mean, right? Am I right? It's probably the most stupidest thing they could change. Ah, that switch is upside down. Ah, we can't get that. And now we're in the we're kind of back in the same room as before. So yeah. Also, those guys are called Bio-Dekubabas, I think. Bio-Dekubabas. I don't know. Ah, the glorious fishes, because I love them. You're not gonna be using a lot of magic in this dungeon. You're just gonna be using a lot of transformations. So there's gonna be a lot of that thing is going. Anyways, let's float up. So yeah, you guys are probably seeing a lot of things that seems to be upside down. You guys could probably already figure out what we're going to be doing in this dungeon. And you will be correct. This dungeon will be turned upside down. How? Or, well, the real question is exactly what you think. How? Well, that switch that we saw outside is the only way how you're going to go ahead and turn this temple upside down. I gotta say, those glass mirrors are a little bit finicky to shine light, because you have to be in a specific way. Oh, there's a bomb chew there. I didn't even see that there was a bomb chew. Man, look at those teeth. Those teeth is just all right. And now I run away. Now, oh, okay, it's actually catching up to me. Speedy. See you later, loser. Don't you blow up? No, you don't. You're still chasing after me. Alright, for this section here, you want to go ahead and use the Goron to go ahead and punch these 3 pillars. But you also want to go ahead and use your stone mask so you can go ahead and not have those black pose bother you. Because they will go ahead and impede your progress, and they are really, really annoying. And I was right. In the 3DS version, you can go ahead and switch the mask at will. I don't think it's that one. I think it's this one. Come on. Okay, no, it's not that one. Oops. Is it this one? Yeah, there it is. That one. Alright. Doing that one will cause you to spawn a fairy. Because that's exactly what you need. Also, I didn't really go into detail with one of the enemies. Well, to be honest, I didn't show that enemy because I didn't really feel like there was a point. But there's an enemy that kind of is a representation of the Goron called the Nojirin. I don't know. I'll go ahead and find it after. There it is. The Najirin. The Najiron. Don't get too close. It smells like gunpowder. Well, yeah, it does. And it just disappears. That doesn't even make any sense. I love the stone mask, but man, sometimes it really just doesn't make any sense. You can find 2 stray fairies in this location, so be sure to get them. Make sure you get all the stray fairies before you turn this temple around, because let's just say, boy. You're gonna really hate yourself if you end up missing any of the fairies in the first location. And if shine the light until the light disappears, and then quickly go ahead and I hate this section. I hate this section because you essentially have to be sure to keep the light shining for a bit. Can I just get? Thank you. All right, just wait for like a few seconds, and you can actually tell how much light is in the mirror if you see light. Well, actually, no, you probably can't, to be honest. I mean, I don't know how long the light lasts, but it lasts long enough for you to actually do what you're supposed to do. There is another fairy in here. Unless I think there's another fairy. I hope there's another fairy, or else I'm going to be really, really stupid. And sad. No, there's just a... What is the point of the rubies? Like, what do I need rubies for? There are two Nigerians here, or Nigerians, whatever. They're just ridiculous. Let me actually wear the fairy mask. Okay, there's nothing here. Okay, we can leave. Bye, losers. Alright. Now, I'm actually going to end the... Well, actually, you know what? No. I'm going to end the part when I get the dungeon item, because it's been kind of weird of me just end the part now. It's like, alright, guys, we're going to end the part. Like, no, man. Just get the... You're almost there and getting the dumb item. Just get the item, and then you can end the part. You're right. I should end the part just like that. Also, you kind of do want to go ahead and drop down. I don't know why. Oh, thank God. That would have been really, really bad if I would have fell in the lava. You want to drop down here because there is a switch that we need to press, but you also need to be fast to be able to actually press the other switch over on the other side. So be sure to kind of like guide yourself or position yourself correctly so you can actually be a little bit faster in getting it. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but you should be able to get it. I got it on my first try, but trust me, that's a little bit more difficult than you think. Now, those currents can be used to go ahead and restore your flight when you're using the Deku, and that bomb chew will always be there to go ahead and try to stop you. There's actually no way to stop him, so he kind of will always try to knock you down. But if you end up activating that switch, you end up getting yourself another fairy. That's basically all you're doing. Fairies are easy to come by. Fairies are also easy to go by too, because you can essentially lose them if you're not careful. You don't really need any rubies. I don't know why they keep giving you rubies. I guess they're assuming that if you know... Because the thing is, the final quest you're actually supposed to do, the final heart piece quest, is relatively supposed to be the depositing the rubies. And I already did that because I was not gonna deal with that. So anyways, I hope you guys are prepared for a mini boss, because yeah, a bunch of rubies for no reason, I swear. You know what? This is appropriate. I shall also be a Garo. Oh, hello. You must be the Garo Master. Okay, no dialogue at all. Alright, that's cool. And this guy is different. Unlike all the other Garo Masters, this guy does not lose his swords when he is shielded. He also has a very wonderful he counterattacks a lot when he ends up getting attacked, and his swords are flaming hot. But that doesn't mean anything. I could have sworn he was supposed to do his whole I go ahead and do some weird sound effects, because I think, oh, and he's dead. Seriously? Man, you suck. The thing can be defeated, although my rival, you were spectacular. I shall take my bow by opening my heart and revealing my wisdom. If you shoot that which releases the sacred golden light into the blood-stained red emblem outside the temple, it shall rearrange things, in which the earth is born in the heavens and the moon is born on the earth. Do not forget these words. Die, I shall even know a corpse, and then blows up and dies. That is the law of us Garos. That guy just killed himself. Alright, whatever. But what did he leave behind, I wonder? Let's open the treasure chest and find out. It's the light arrows? What? The light of justice shall target evil. I love that. But anyways, guys, that is the end of this episode of Majora's Mask. And the next episode will be going deeper into the lore of the Stone Tower. I've been 6X. Let me see you guys next time. 6X over and out of here.